Hey yo jelly beans, it's Jam here. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a squishy makeover. Now this little squishy I saw at my local Michael's store and he was on the discount shelf. And I was like, oh, I have so many ideas for him, but he looked in rough shape. He was only $1, so I decided, let's see what I can do. Now here we'll kind of take a look at and assess the damage first. So you can see there's a couple chunks taken out of it. There's this tag, and then the little fin or whatever was ripped. And then there was this giant sticker, which just by trying to peel at it, it was having a hard time coming off. So I knew I had my work cut out for me. And this is what I'm going for. It's the axolotl from Minecraft. And I started by pulling out that tag, and then the sticker was fighting me so much, but I finally got it off after it ripped off chunks of the squishy. And then I went through and I sanded it down. This helps the paint to stick. Learned this from Mariah Elizabeth. And then I went through and trimmed away some of the edges. This makes the surface smoother, and then you don't have to have those little points sticking out, which make it hard to get the paint smooth. And then to fix that spot, I used this kind of elasticy super glue. And I went in and held that with a rubber band while it dried. Looks kind of cute actually. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to trim this to make it look more like the water bucket. And guys, I have never worked with a foam squishy before. I've only ever worked with the mochi squishies, which are that really squishy soft. So this was a new for me. So none of this is going to be perfect. I was just trying to figure out what I was doing. I looked at other videos of artists that do this to kind of get an idea. And I don't know if I did very well, but you could be the judge of that at the end. And after that was drying, I went and took the rubber bands off and went through with some white puffy paint to kind of seal in those spots and go around the edges. I'm going to use this as a base coat, but unfortunately I did not have that much puffy paint left, especially of the white, because I used it on a couple projects before. After drying it, this is what it looks like, and I could only have enough to do one coat. And I bought this puffy paint. I was hoping that it was going to work well because it came in so many different colors. But when I was squirting it out, I noticed it didn't have that normal texture, and it kind of clumped up and wasn't great at all. It wasn't smearing. And I looked at the container, and it's 3D fabric paint. So it's not going to work at all. So now I'm back to using my old fabric paint, which I did not have a lot of. So I could not get the color of the axolotl. I tried doing as much white as I possibly could, but I ran out. And this was what I had come up with, which I know it's not at all the color of the standard axolotl. It's much lighter in the game. Ugh, I was so disappointed. I know that they had multiple colors of them, but I'm really trying to go for the bucket one. And after it was dried, I could only do one coat because that's all the paint I had for it with the light mixture, so the face is kind of showing through. But after I dried it, here is the final outcome because it darkened a little bit after I dried it. As you can see, the face is still visible. Now it was time to move on to getting the little fin thingies. Are these fins? They kind of look like cute little like hair on the side, but I know it's not hair, but it looks really adorable. So standard axolotl little finny things. And this, you want to try to be careful when you do this. I was kind of going fast and rushing because I was so disappointed in the colors not matching up. But you want to try not to get the paint on the surface. And here I'm going in to do the bucket. Okay, no one tells you that the fabric paint, when you cut and the foam's exposed, it just slurps it up. I had to do so much paint on this just to get it to show up. It was just slurping up all the paint. It was horrible. And that's what it looks like, guys. This is terrible. It doesn't look like a bucket at all. Or maybe it's a dented bucket, like really dented. And this was my favorite part, honestly, was putting on the water, which I was kind of glad that I got to use the water on this because it covered up all the areas that I missed with the pink in the bucket. So here's what that looks like. Now on to doing the little finger fin thingies. fin thingies. I have no idea what they're called either. If someone's an axolotl expert, please comment down below how you pronounce the name and what all these things are called. And then for the eyes, I went in with some black fabric paint and kind of made them square. I realized afterwards that I'm terrible at making things even. These eyes were so not like 90-degree rectangle squares. Oh my god. And here's the Posca paint. I was going to use this for the mouth. And with Posca paints, you have to like pump the paint just to get it to come out of the tube. So after it finally came out, I went through and did like a little trace of where I wanted the mouth to go. And I used this lighter color so it stood out. And I went through and I just added that little detail to the tail. And I did darken it with another color over it because I didn't really like how the white looked on it, or the light pink. And then I went in and added a little shine to the bucket, making sure it's in that digital looking pixelated type. And here it was, but after examining it, I was not satisfied with the color. So I went in and did the unspeakable and used acrylic paints. So unfortunately, I won't be able to squish it, but I think it turned out so much better with the light acrylic paint. And then to touch up the eyes where I accidentally went over it with the acrylic paint to make them more square. I actually like doing touch-up details, even though it's annoying because you're redoing your work, but it's kind of satisfying at the same time. So here we go. This is the final product, our little axolotl in a water bucket. Please let me know what you think about this because I had a really fun time doing this. I know it doesn't look exactly like it because it's not pixelated like in the game, but I think with working with what I had, this turned out pretty good. Comment down below if you'd like me to do any of the other of these. And if you haven't already, hit that notification bell and subscribe. Thanks a bunch of noodles. Bye!